All right, we are back. Hopefully, we're back and we're not going to have any streaming issues. Because I know that that is frustrating, I'm sure. I know it's frustrating for me when I'm watching after the fact. All right, we got three. We got Java and we got LeBreton back. Thank you guys for toughing it out with me while I worked out some technical difficulties. I don't know if I actually worked any technical difficulties out, but I think I found something that I could tweak to hopefully make the streaming go a little smoother. I just forgot something. I did something wrong. Okay, now I got it. So what are we doing today? What is everybody working on? Are people flipping? Are people just kind of enjoying the day off? Do people not have the day off and are getting ready for work? I know that cut my dog nails and accidentally cut one of them too long. Now he's bleeding. Oh no, that has happened. I have done that before. Man, I'm so sorry that happened. I definitely get how that sucks. What kind of dog do you have, LeBreton? 3-year flipping the dinkle. Nice. Pitbull. Very cool. Very cool. A white one? All right. I wish I had a pitbull. I don't think I'm gonna get another dog anytime soon, because we have enough with the animals that we currently have. But every now and then, I toy around with the idea of maybe we'll get another dog. My wife doesn't think that our current dog Stanley would adapt well to a new one, so she's kind of against the idea. But I don't know. I think it would be cool to have. I think it would be cool. I've always wanted a pug, if I'm being completely honest. I think it would be cool to have a pug someday. So Matthew, I was having some struggles with the connection on the other stream. It just kept dropping, and it ended up just becoming a reoccurring issue. So to deal with that, I couldn't change the settings of the stream itself without bringing the whole stream down. Once I brought the whole stream down, I couldn't bring it back up again because Google had or YouTube had classified that as a completed stream. So I had to create a new stream and go through the whole process again. So sorry for the frustration, but glad to see you guys made it over to the new one. Welcome, Matthew. Welcome, Ghost Bally's. Anybody doing anything fun this towards the end of this weekend? Well, question number one. Question number two, tomorrow, Monday, is President's Day. Does anybody have President's Day off? And so they're looking for a 3-day weekend, or looking at a 3-day weekend. Because that is the case for me. It is Sunday, but I don't have to work tomorrow because tomorrow is a holiday at my company, which is pretty nice. Man, that is... I gotta remember that I have to catch it there. 3, the behind the short... am I having... No, that was a phone issue, not a stream issue, I think. Loki might need to go furniture shopping. Just got my check, and it might be time to actually have a living room. Nice. That's exciting. That really is, Satch. congratulations, I suppose. If you do end up doing it, big props, congratulations there. It's always exciting getting a new living room set. I don't know why. I don't know why it's exciting, but it's one of those like adult things that I don't know is just exciting, even though it's just something that you sit on. Um, but totally get putting it off. We've been putting off a lot of furniture related stuff for the last couple of months. So your dinkle just assaulted your phone. Oh my goodness. How was that? Were you doing a rollover and it just like knocked the phone off of the stand, or how is it that the dinkle assaulted your phone? My living room is literally empty, so it's definitely gonna be a big step. Very cool. I think my daughter had told me that she was gonna be dealing with a empty living room for a little bit, and empty living rooms can be a little much. What's going on, Jax? Welcome back. I was holding my phone and caught an aerial wrong, and it slapped into my phone. Got it. Okay. Got it. I was working on some aerials yesterday, based on the clips that you sent, the Helix aerial, or aerial to Helix, or whatever it was. I am not doing it or getting it or anything like that, but I was working on it a little bit. But as you can see from my list of, these are the tricks that I have learned. A Helix aerial is not one of them. Almost had it. Would have been nice. I love aerials, says LeBreton. Cruz, welcome, Cruz. Darn, Unk, your flipping is getting smooth. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. I wouldn't necessarily consider my flipping smooth, but I mean, thank you. You just watched it. I have a critical eye, so if you think it's getting smooth, I appreciate it. Especially since what I just did is the new combo that I'm working on putting together, which kind of brings in the Hellbender that I've been working on, the Behind the Eight Ball, the blender that I've been working on, and then the shortstop, which I just learned this morning. So if you just watched me go through all of those things, 3 of which are brand new that I'm just learning, and you're saying my flipping is getting smooth, I appreciate that. What's going on, IDK? How are we doing today? How are we doing today? If you can hellbent, you can cherry picker. It's the same move, basically. Okay, that's good to know. I know somebody had just mentioned cherry picker in the chat, but we'll try to figure that one out a little bit later. Like I said, I'm definitely taking baby steps. So yeah, what I'm doing right now is the Hellbender, which is that double rollout, and no, I don't know. I just screwed it up. What's the difference? Doesn't matter, 3. Let's see. What am I trying to do? I'm trying to... What's going on, Camaro EE? Gentle people. Wonderful to see you all gathered here today. That's why I do this. I get bored and I think to myself, there might be other bored flippers out there. So if I'm just sitting here practicing, I might as well practice live and give other good flippers someplace to kind of gather around, interact with me, and do what they can do. So let's see. Never abbreviate cherry picker. I'm not gonna unravel that one. All right, Ethan, how is your weekend going? Do you have, out of curiosity, none of my business, by all means ignore me, but do you have, I've been asking everybody else, do you have President's Day off? Are you sitting in a 3-day weekend, or or is today the end of your weekend and you're getting ready to go back to the grind come Monday? I think I just asked this or that question. Your response was nope. Work tomorrow, jury summons Tuesday. Oh my gosh. Wow. So you've got a rough week. I am so sorry. Gonna be a long week. Yeah, that's for sure. Cherry picker is hellbent, and instead of closing it, you go into a whip rollover. Okay. Awesome. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, like I said, I've picked up enough thus far that I'm not gonna, oh my gosh, that I'm not going to jump right into the, let's try something other than the refault. I'm not blaming my valleys, but let's try something other than the refault. Let's see. Well, that's stupid. Why are they called different things? Because they're different things. One is like 3/4 of a full thing, and the other, it's just like it's just like when you guys taught me, what was it, the blender, and Ethan's response was, "Congratulations, you just learned most of the behind the eight ball." Because us newbies need it broken up in little ways like that. That's why. Dang, I screwed that up. I thought I was going to get it right. Nope. I haven't been favoring my Mako, but I have been consistently flipping my Mako, which is just very strange to me because I did it again. Because I typically don't like my Mako, and I've been flipping it probably more than I've been flipping anything else. It's crazy. Let's see. LOL, did Big Flips name the Hellbent? I don't know. It's the first move in the advanced playlist on his, and I've never heard anyone else say that name. I mean, somebody had directed me towards it on stream the other day, and while I found it on Big Flips, I found a tutorial by Artsy. I had found a tutorial. I mean, I found a number of tutorials, so I would say that, you know, the which one was it that we're asking about? The Hellbent? I mean, it's something. Man, I cannot remember what I'm trying to do and try to read chat at the same time. So I'm going to try to do what I'm going to do and then get back to chat. Hopefully you guys are okay with that. Damn. Just buns. Just buns. Okay. So yeah, he did say Helix and shortstop are advanced, so I don't think he should be given very much credit. Oh, well, you're being a little too critical, Threet. What I can say unequivocally is that Big Flips has taught so many new people in the hobby so much about flipping that you shouldn't criticize someone for trying. That's what I'll say. Even if it isn't perfect, you shouldn't criticize somebody for trying. It took me a long time to learn the reverse scissors, LOL. Ethan says, I don't even know what a reverse giraffe looks like. Well, hey, Ethan, I can show you a little trick on your phone to do a screen record, and that might help you. It's helped me thus far. Yeah, I watched your video and I was like, I watched your video on how to do screen records. And number one, I was like, oh my gosh, this is so great. Ethan made this video specifically for me because he watched me have a meltdown. And then I took a step back and I'm like, no, there's probably other people who could benefit from this, but this definitely helps my meltdown situation. And so I was talking to one of my kids and and very excitedly said, "Hey, did you know that you could do this with your phone?" And they just dropped their head in their hands and looked at me so embarrassed. It was like, "How did you not know that?" And I'm like, "What do you mean? How did I not know that? Like, I was around before cell phones were a thing. Like, I don't like." I wouldn't ever think to myself, oh, let's just pull down here, hit screen grab, and then record my screenshot. It never would have boggled or, come up as a thought. And my kid was just like, yeah, like everybody knows how to do that. I'm like, well, why didn't you tell me how to do that? I didn't know that you needed to. So yeah, apparently your video was very, very helpful for any old people out there like myself that just don't know these things because they take for granted all of the information they already have. Let's see. Took me a long time to learn the reverse scissor. I mean, 3, he's great for newbies, and how in-depth he goes in his tutorials. Yeah, he goes super in-depth. Like, I was griping about it the other day because I needed something faster than what he was giving me. But then the next day when I watched it again, just in watching the slow-mos, I was able to pick up the trick. And today when I was working on the shortstop, it was just super easy to follow through with the way that Big Flips was breaking everything down. So yeah, without question, great teacher. Another great teacher we have in chat is LeBreton. Anytime anybody needs to learn how to do anything, ask LeBreton or ask 3 for a short a slow-mo, and yeah, they'll be able to get you taken care of in no time. What's the worst, or okay, what is your worst or least favorite Bally in your collection, and can I have it? Can you have it? No. The least favored Bally in my collection right now, if I'm being very honest, is probably my Nibalis Teflon Vulp. Simply because I take that back. It's actually my Squiddy U, because this is the one that I find the least useful for my flipping practice, and the one that I say that like the refault is what I carry around the least. I never carry around the Squiddy U. The only condition that I see myself carrying the Squiddy U is if I have to go on a trip and I have to go on an airplane. Until I have something else that can go through TSA, or I have a situation where I'm going to need to check my luggage, where I can, bring my case and load it up with my Bally's. That would probably be the only condition in which I would see myself really plugging away at needing this one. Let's see. Can you have it? No, sorry. So you're aware, flipper or streamers are not going to be inclined to give anybody their balisongs just because they ask for them. And so you're aware, just because I'm an adult does not mean that I can afford all of the things. So all of the things that I have were things that I paid good money for to build out the collection the way that I wanted to have it. And so because of that, I'm going to keep everything that I have in my collection and not give it away just because somebody asks nicely. I appreciate you asking, but just so that you're aware, in general, the answer is going to be no, unless it's somebody that you know personally, and then they may think to themselves, hey, yeah, I'll let you have it. But a stranger that you are interacting with online is unlikely to send you something. And if they say they're going to, don't trust them. If they say, oh yeah, I'll send you something, what's your address? Don't give them your address. Just, public service announcement for everybody. All right, so let's see. just take your Baileys, or just take your Baileys though through check-in. I've taken my Canyon that way a few times. I know, I just don't typically check my luggage. It's an unnecessary headache that I have to deal with. So I don't. But if I did have to check my luggage, yes, I would definitely check my luggage and bring a Bailey with me if I was going on a trip, for sure. Let's see. Why people feel comfortable just point blank asking for you to give them is beyond me. Some people just don't know, you know, and that's fine. Some people are not as familiar with typical social interactions and engagements, especially where, you know, you're living in the world of live streaming, where it's like you can have somebody who's, you know, in their 40s doing the live stream like me. You can have somebody, you know, who's, you know, 16, 14, 12 watching the live stream. You just never know who you're interacting with. So my assumption, you know, in those cases is when those questions come up, they're being asked by somebody who just simply doesn't know better. And if I have the opportunity to educate and make it a little bit easier for the next person down the line, then, you know, so be it. Hopefully I can you know, get there with it. I should not try to learn the Van Gogh. I know that I keep hearing everybody saying it's actually not that hard, but again, I'm working on smoothing out enough that I don't need to add more to it. So let's see. So anyways, what I'm working on, I'm going to use my Orion S and see if I can kind of talk through and walk through what it is that I'm working on. So I think it's the Hellbender is the one where I do that, but much prettier. Then I go into the behind the 8-ball to the blender to the shortstop. And that sucks. My most advanced tip or trip right now is the behind the 8-ball. What should I learn next? My recommendation, if you are getting good with and this is just my recommendation. It sounds like 3 agrees with me though. Good. My recommendation after the behind the 8-ball is the helix, because you can go from the behind the 8-ball right into the helix, and then that turns into an infinite loop. That's one of my favorites. So what I do is I get into the behind the 8-ball, and then from the behind the 8-ball, I go right into the helix, and can then maybe I can flip something. But behind the 8-ball to the helix, you can just go back and forth again and again and again between the two. But my flipping is not great. All right, Matthew is back. Welcome back, Matthew. Let's see, what should I learn next? Yeah, the helix, definitely. So what should I learn after the helix? Honestly, don't worry about that yet. As far as I'm concerned, LeBreton's got you covered. So does 3. What's going on? J-Sky? J-Sky, I think. What I would recommend, Ghost Baileys, is don't worry about what you're going to learn after the helix yet. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew. I would work on like 1 or 2 tricks at a time. Personally, if you're just getting started and the behind the 8-ball and the helix are like your current learning things, I would currently just start with behind the 8-ball and the helix. Don't worry about what's after that. Get yourself into that infinite loop where you're comfortable doing the behind the 8-ball to the helix to the behind the 8-ball. Once you have that smoothed and you're comfortable with it, then figure out what your next trick would be. That's my recommendation, but you know, like I said, LeBreton and 3 have your back as far as other alternative next tricks you could do. Like Bally Dare for Unk. Unk is learning enough stuff right now. Unk does not need more Bally Dares. Is this about butterfly knives? This is about butterfly knives and positivity, and it's just a general like positive vibe space. for anybody who wants someplace to hang out. But primarily the people that we have in the chat are people who flip balisongs, which are butterfly knives. So yeah, if you're wanting to hang out and just kind of see what everybody's talking about, and you're not familiar with butterfly knives, yeah, welcome. Have fun. Matthew says, want to know what's funny? Ramen or Raymond from Camaro EE Discord, all those videos that I genuinely just learned, Choker fan, and you just met him on Discord. Sweet, that's very cool. Let's see. Okay, no, I met him on the Discord call. I think it's a flipper. Okay. Phone is at 40, what? Oh, phone is at 44%, so you might be streaming inside. Oh, because you're waiting for it to get up to 100%, right? Do the best trick you can before I leave, please. Okay. I'm not a proficient flipper. Everybody else in chat is. I just, flip. So I'm still learning. So I would say the most proficient thing that I can do right now, and I'll grab a sharp one for you just to be exciting. The most proficient combination that I do right now is this. I messed up. And I messed up again. There. So there you go. So like I said, not proficient. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for asking some questions. Feel free to stop by again if you ever want to. I stream a lot. Balisongs are cool and they're safe. But thanks for stopping by. Have a great night. Let's see, what else did we have? Like a beginner, but still a flipper. What was that? I think somebody I missed. When it's finally done, LOL. Yep. Okay. I think somebody might. It doesn't matter if they say butterfly knife or if they say have a good night, Jace guy. Yeah, 3. It doesn't matter if you call it a butterfly knife or a bally or a balisong. I mean, so long as you know what they're talking about. Really, at the end of the day, it's the whole making sure that that the hobby is accessible, right? So if somebody calls it a balisong, if somebody calls it a butterfly knife, so long as you know what they're talking about, that's okay. Like a beginner, but still a flipper. Exactly. Yep. Like below 1% easily after doing research, most people switch over to balisong. You mean as opposed to calling it a butterfly knife? Yeah, it seems much more publicly accessible or acceptable because it doesn't have the word knife in it. I think. I mean, that's my guess. Okay, but they're definitely, so what? Who cares if they're a flipper? They may be showing up to show their interest in it. And I mean, I was completely blown away by the fact that they asked questions. And they were like not, oh my gosh, you're going to cut yourself or anything like that. But instead, hey, is this what you're talking about? Yes, it is. Okay, cool. I'm going to leave. Do you mind doing a trick before I do? Yeah, okay, cool. Yo, that was cool. Okay, bye. I mean, it was a really good interaction that I just had with somebody. And thankfully, because I was very understanding and open with them, hopefully they had a really good interaction with me. Whereas if they came in and they had asked a question and used the phrasing, butterfly knife, I think my response would have, if my response had been, laughing at them, scoffing at them, and saying you clearly don't, you don't belong here, you don't know what you're talking about, that would have made them feel pretty bad. So yeah. Okay, what did I miss? Yeah, definitely not a flipper, but that's cool. That's fine. Just love everybody. Be nice to everybody. Everybody has feelings. Wait, Ethan has to go to jury duty? Yeah, yeah. That one of the fun things about being an adult is you get called for jury duty sometimes. Java says that something is quite surprising. LeBreton says this is why he is the Bally Unk. Just chill. Yeah, I mean, is that what makes me the Unk? I figured just the fact that I have grandkids and am old and am like, I don't know, using slang that I probably shouldn't be using, and doing all of the cringe things. I thought that's what made me the Unk. Is it the fact? Is it the fact that I go into dad mode all the time and just kind of, teach you guys teach you guys how to be human beings? Is that what makes me the Unk? Very, very curious now. Um, I had a question about that too. Honestly, I could probably dive deeper into that, but I can't remember off the top of my head what the question was. But I was thinking to myself, one of these days on stream, I'm going to have to, when I have a back and forth, very active stream where I can ask some questions, I will definitely start unpackaging some questions I have, but for the life of me, I can't remember. So it's a mix of both, but we love it. Okay, good, good. All right. Well, I mean, it was funny. I was talking to my oldest son, had called me the other day, and we were talking about logical thought. Because basically that's what everything boils down to for me is logic. Is it logical? Think about it from a logical, perspective. Think about it from a couple different angles, but always apply logic. What makes sense? And and that came up in conversation because my oldest, who is, oh, just a minute, 28 turning 29 this year. So when he and I were talking, he was talking about how he thinks about stuff in a very logical way, and it's because of the way that I think and the way that I've kind of made him answer questions and made him think about situations. And I kind of explained to him that that's kind of partially what I'm trying to do, with the whole like Bally Unk YouTube thing is, not only am I trying to make sure that there's a positive environment for people to be able to go to feel safe and comfortable asking questions and, hanging out with others in the community, but also as a way to, make sure that people, do get some of the, because like I can have these same conversations with my, I can have these same conversations with my kids, but my kids aren't going to listen to it. They're not going to hear it. Not the young ones, because I mean, kids don't listen to their parents. That's not the cool thing to do. And I understand that. So, but I still talk to my kids. I still, have conversations with them, still open and all of that stuff. But I know that if I sit down and have a lecture the way that I do with you guys sometimes, it's just going to go in one ear and out the other. And it's going to be like, okay, is it time for us to have dinner yet? Or can I go play my video game or whatever? Whereas I'm kind of in a very unique position where you guys are tuned in to listen to me. Like I can, periodically sprinkle in a little, this is how you be nice to people. This is how you, give compliments. This is how you, treat other people with respect. This is how you think about situations to make sure that you're, setting yourself up for the best decision. I can spit out all that stuff to you guys, and if you don't want to hear it, you can click off. You can not keep watching the stream, but you guys do tend to listen, and that's really cool. And if it helps any of you, all the better. So that's, low key half of the reason why, I kind of do this is just to make sure that some of those, this is how you can be thoughtful. This is how you can be respectful. This is how you can be, you know, this is how you can stand up for yourself and get the respect that you want or deserve without, I don't know, without being offensive. All right. So how old is my oldest? Like I said, I think 28, if my numbers are numbering correctly. He doesn't have much interest in flipping. Yeah. His kids are showing interest, in what I do, but, he does enjoy watching my YouTube content when he gets the opportunity to, and it's fun with him being older because we do have these real good heart to heart conversations now because now he's old enough, he's got kids, he's kind of in that mental state where he can have a conversation with me and have it feel like an adult having a conversation with an adult, picking up tricks and tips and learning new things. And it just feels like a thing as opposed to a parent telling a child, this is how I force you to behave. So it's easy to have the conversations with him. With my younger, not so easy. It's easy, but it just doesn't click the same way. But hopefully with you guys, you're getting something out of it. He's going to be the next Bailey-Unk. I don't know that I have a protege in the works. I am unique. None of my kids are quite like me. I think everybody appreciates me in some way, shape, or form, but I don't think anybody in my household is going to be growing up to emulate me in any way, shape, or form. I can't say any way, shape, or form, but I don't think I'm raising the next Bailey-Unk. I think if there's going to be a Bailey-Unk that supersedes me or is a successor to my own Bailey-Unk status, it's going to be somebody who comes up from the chat and takes the reins and says, "Okay, Unk, you retire now. We got this from here." We'll see. 3 says, I was tweaking earlier. There were 3 babies on the plane and all of them were screaming for the entire flight and my earbuds died. Oh man, that's a bummer. See, and I can understand. So here we're going to do the whole like Bailey-Unk thing. So I can totally understand how that would be I'm going to keep saying totally. I can understand how that would be frustrating, having, crying kids around you. Not everybody can deal with crying kids. Thankfully, that's one of those things that I've always been really, really, really good at. I love, love, love babies. And when they're crying, that's cool. I still love babies. They're still tiny and cute and adorable. So I was always the one who was taking care of the babies when they were crying. Not only, but that's my thing. Like everybody knows, okay, if the baby is crying and inconsolable, hand them to dad, hand them to grandpa, hand them to me. Because I will just, take care of a crying baby. Even if the baby's crying for like 3 hours, I have the patience for it. So if I were in your shoes, I instead would be sitting there thinking, oh, poor baby, because the baby is crying and uncomfortable and nobody can satisfy its need. I would be thinking, poor parent, because number one, the parent has to deal with crying baby, but the parent also has to deal with the internal thought, the intrusive thought of everybody here is frustrated with me because my baby is crying and I can't stop my baby from crying, and everybody is now mad at me and my baby about it. And that's a lot of like pressure for a parent to be worrying about while trying to care for their kid, is the comfort of everybody else. So if I were in your position, rather than being like, oh my gosh, these kids, my stance would be more along the lines of, oh my gosh, I feel bad for that parent because they're not only dealing with the stress of their kid, but they're dealing with the stress of having the kid on the airplane and everybody's, frustrated about it. That's my deep dive on that particular situation. You wanted me to talk about blankets. Keep giving me situations like this, and I can go deep dive in them, but I'm not going to deep dive on blankets. Um, all right, that got us caught up to chat. That was my little spiel right there, and I did have a little blip in the stream that may have been a complication, but maybe not. You guys tell me, is everything still going good? Unk has been flipping for about 7 months, so not very long. I am not. I am not proficient for a reason. How long has the Unk been flipping? I forgot. I know you already said. Oh, you're saying I already said, but that's why you're asking the question. Okay. That came across right after I told you. So it seemed like you had said, hey, how long have you been flipping? I said 7 months. And you said, yeah, I know you already said that. What? So, timing. Hmm, I don't want to flip the refault. I've not wanted to flip the refault since I dyed the scales. Well, thank you, LeBreton. I appreciate that. I feel like had I been trying to be better, I would have been able to progress much faster. I mean, because like in the last week, I've actively been trying a whole lot more. So in the last week, I've learned, multiple tricks. Whereas there have been months where the only thing that I've been working on is my combo that I finally got the drop for last week, or the clip for last week. But prior to that, I was just mindlessly flipping through the same combo again and again and again. So, I appreciate you saying that I'm an all right flipper for 7 months, but I feel like I have just been mindlessly flipping for those 7 months. I haven't actually been trying to improve, not the way that I think I could have. Um, but it's interesting. It's like how I have to, with me doing the content creation the way that I'm doing and trying to build the community of, positive minded, flippers the way that I have been, I have to figure out how it is that I'm going to divide up my time to do all of the things that I need to do. Because I have the streams, and that takes, obviously time to do the streams. Um, as you guys know, streams are not the place for me to learn new things. So if I'm going to learn new things, I'm going to have to do that elsewhere or, during other times. So now I have streams, I have practice. I do still want to do videos. So periodically I need to find time to do my recordings for videos. And then, it's already kind of been teased, but I might as well say it because people have asked about it. I do in fact want to, do some sort of like reviewing people within the Balisong hobby, within the community. And that's going to take some time because I'm going to need to schedule interviews. I'm going to need to do the interviews. I'm going to need to do the editing. I mean, because of as much as Unk does not like to edit, if I am doing a review, not a review, an interview, I keep saying review. If I'm doing an interview with someone, that is something that I have to edit because that's something that it's not just me that I'm putting on display, it's somebody else. And if I'm putting somebody else on display, I need to make sure that they are presented in as good a picture as I can do. And that means I'm going to have to figure out how to edit. So I'm going to have to learn how to edit, well, I'm going to have to do the interviews. I'm going to have to edit the interviews, and then I'm going to have that stuff to put out. It's just, there's a lot that I have in the works, and having all of these things kind of either in motion, already happening, or something I'm trying to actively plan out. All of that planning takes a whole lot of time that also takes away from my, ability to improve my flipping. So I don't know. It's great to hear that you think that 7 months has brought me a long way, but I fear that, even when I hit a year, I don't know how much my progression will be to brag about, just simply because, I have no idea what I'm going to be doing, what our content available for the community is going to look like, and how much time any of that is going to, require from me. LeBreton, you had a lot of questions. Let's see. Okay, so already pretty good for how long that I've been flipping. You're on good pacing. Cool. Who do you want to interview? All right. Hold on. You were around. Wait, I was around where you are right now, 7 months, to be honest. So I feel like you're doing good. Wait, so LeBreton, you're saying when you were about 7 months in, you were about flipping about as well as I am? Am I understanding that question right? Or that statement right? I slowly sped up the amount of tricks I was learning. But at 7 months, you would say you were probably about where I am? Sawyer, I think no matter what pace you learn at, people will enjoy your content for your content, enjoy your content for the content you specifically provide. I've been flipping for 5 years, but haven't learned a new trick in a long time. I believe it, Sawyer. Like I said, I don't know if you had heard me say it. Welcome, by the way, to the chat. I don't know how long you've been here. I don't know if this is your first stream, but I welcome you. But you make a very, very, very good point, that you can go a long, long time not learning anything new, and just, I mean, I had mentioned earlier in the stream that I had taken a break from my YouTube stuff for probably about 3 or 4 months. And during that time, I was still collecting ballad songs. I was still flipping. I was still, doing all of the things. I was still watching the content. I just wasn't putting any of my own content out there, for my own reasons. But during that time, I wasn't learning anything new. I was just going through the same motions that I was familiar with, and I had learned enough that it was a repeatable series of moves, a repeatable combo. So I mean, that worked for me. What's going on, Mystic? How are you doing today? Okay, so Sawyer, let me go back to yours. I think I missed something there, or I don't know that I fully answered your question. Or commented on your statement, but maybe you did. You've been flipping 5 years, but haven't learned a new trick in a long time. Okay, cool. Very cool. So you have been here for just a few, doing some drawing. Awesome. That makes you a lurker. I mean, no offense or disrespect when I say the word lurker. You can ask around. Everybody knows I absolutely adore my lurkers. I will argue with people that the lurkers care more about what I have to say than the people who are interacting in the chat. So if you are here, you are enjoying yourself, and you're going to be a lurker, I appreciate it. I'm glad to have a 5-year veteran of the hobby gracing us with their presence and thinking that my content is worth digesting. I thank you. 3 says you should ask to join Ethan on his podcast. I'm not going to ask. So the thing is, I'm not going to ask Ethan anything. I'm not going to ask Ethan to do anything for me. Ethan has already done like so much for me that it's unbelievable. And he will tell you that he hasn't done anything because I've joked around with the, oh, well, Ethan, told everybody to, start, bugging Scott, so he stops bugging me. But in all honesty, Ethan was just, a really quality content creator that when I reached out was very welcoming and responsive and gave me that extra boost of encouragement that I needed to keep me going. So Ethan's GOAT. But because of that, he's done enough for me. I would never ask him to do X, Y, or Z. Oh, and Camaro is, I don't know if you had jumped in and I've forgotten it or if you just hopped in, but unfortunately the podcast is on hiatus currently. We've wanted to do guests, but time will tell if that ever happens. You'd be a great person to interview. Well, that's a bummer that it's on a hiatus because yeah, your podcasts are super, super fun. Okay, I jumped down for that because I didn't want to miss Ethan's comment that was dropped at a perfect time. So just doing some drawing, cool. LeBreton says Bally Unk collaboration with Ethan. Mystic showed up. Welcome, Mystic. Hopefully you are doing all right. How's your weekend going so far? And do you have Monday off as a holiday? And is it a long weekend for you? Fingers crossed that you have a long weekend, sir. Doing great. How about you? I am doing good. I am living the dream. I could not be happier. It's a good Sunday. I have tomorrow off, so it's a 3-day weekend. Yesterday was Valentine's Day. I streamed twice yesterday. I'm streaming again today. It's one of those weekends, so I'm doing good. I couldn't complain about a thing. LeBreton is going to be going live in 15 minutes. Not waiting until your phone is done. LOL. Okay, cool. And that was a couple minutes, so probably around 3 o'clock. Okay, fair. So I am probably then going to be wrapping things up around 3 o'clock. Because I have things to do, and I also want to watch LeBreton's stream. But just so that everybody is aware, forgot my name on YouTube was still this. Okay. Let's see. What did I miss? Unfortunate. Okay, yep, already covered that. I'm gonna dip. Thanks for improving my evening. Okay, Java, if you're still around, thanks. I hope you have a great night. And then LeBreton said, peace, Java. Okay, cool. We are caught up. I'm out for the evening. Have a good night, everyone. Great stream, Scott. Thanks, Ethan. Thanks for stopping by. Have yourself a great rest of the evening. Good luck with work this week, and hopefully you don't get called for jury duty. Okay, let's go back to this question. Who do I want to interview? I'm not really going to go deep into that one, just simply because there's a lot of reasons why I don't want to go deep on that one. There are so many people. I haven't even gone down the rabbit hole of who all could I. Wait, what's happening with Ethan? Oh, Ethan just left chat, so I was wishing him a good weekend. Told him to have a good week at work, and he has jury duty. So I also wished that he doesn't get called for jury duty. What's going on, Jed? How we doing? So if I were to do interviews, it's not even so far into that thought that I would even know like how they would be structured quite yet or anything. I have identified like who I would want to be my first interview, and I've reached out to that person to let them know, hey, this is something that I would like to do. You are the person that I would like to do this with. And basically my stance on it is I will let them respond to me at their own comfort on whether or not that's something that they want to do. They may never respond to me. And so what I'm trying to figure out is how long do I want to give that one person before I decide to ask the next person if they would be interested in doing an interview. but I don't want to like publicly say who it is that because I don't want anybody to feel pressured or anything, and I don't want anybody to excuse me, feel offended that they're not like I wouldn't want Ethan, for example, to think Scott doesn't want to interview me. That's strange. I don't like Scott anymore. I mean, he would never say that or think that, but I wouldn't want him to have hurt feelings over the fact that they were number 4 or number 5, whatever the case may be. So it's a very, very, very low key thing right now. I have no idea when it's going to start. I have no idea if it's going to start. I may end up reaching out to 14 different people over the course of 9 months, and every single one of them may be like, dude, I'm not interested in what you're throwing down. No idea. And I mean, it sounds like you guys would be at least kind of interested. Mystic says interview content is very cool. Really? Okay. I should get interviewed trust. Oh wait, I should get interviewed trust. What, Matthew? You should be interviewed? Like somebody should interview you for a stream? Yeah, so I mean, I think the idea would be really cool. I think that my spin on things would be a different spin on things because, my whole positive vibe thing, like I wouldn't be going into an interview looking for, like, I don't care about the views. I would be doing the interview for me, and you guys would be getting the information out of it. So, yeah, so Matthew, what I'm really talking about is the interviewing is people that are. All right, am I back? Stream was dying. Supposedly, yeah, stream was dying. It looks like we're back. We're back. Yeah, we're back. Okay, good. Good. We're back. Okay, good. Good. All right. Uh-oh. We're not back? Oh, no. All right, we're gonna just keep on. We're gonna keep on trying. But man, it is rough. Okay, does it look like we're back? Are we back, we think? Maybe? I'm still getting the error on my side. So I can't tell. RZ, welcome to the show. My streaming software is not being very positive. That is a true statement. Am I back yet? Can you guys hear me? All right, am I back from the dead? Looks like the stream health is good, but I'm still getting the error from YouTube, so I don't know what to believe. Oh, the error seems to have gone away. We are back. All right, cool. So Matthew, what I was saying to you was with regards to the potential of me interviewing people, We're not talking about me interviewing people in the chat. We're talking about me interviewing people in the community that you could almost borderline consider famous, or famous within the balisong hobby. So we're talking like the high tier flippers, the makers, the content creators, things of that nature. And what I'm trying to do, what I'm thinking about doing is starting to do some interviews, maybe on a monthly basis or so, with people of that nature. But the spin that I'm going to be putting on it, right, is going to be that it's a conversation with Baliunk. I mean, you guys know me. Some of you guys know me. Sawyer, you I think are new here, but I'm all about the questions. There's so much that I don't know, and I'm a very logical thinker. So I ask chat questions all the time. You know, how do you do this? What does this mean? How do you get out of this trick and go into this other trick? I want to learn all of the things, and I want to learn all of the things from those high tier flippers, from those makers, from my fellow content creators, the other people that are proficient in the community, and I want to hear their stories from from my like positive vibe, rather than like hey, let's talk about the drama. Because I'm not about the drama. I could care less about that. I'm all about the, hey, what got you into it? What do you love about it? What keeps you going? All that stuff. So I don't know. Like I said, we'll see. I have one person that I've reached out to about a potential interview. I've told them take their time. Let me know what they think about it. And I'm not going to ask anybody else or follow back up with that person. I'm going to give them, probably a solid month or so. And if I haven't heard anything back after a month or so, then I might reach out to the next person that I'm thinking about. So that is my unplanned explanation of what I have been keeping kind of, under wraps with regards to one of the things that Baliunk is trying to start doing with regards to the channel and what kind of content I put out there for you. So let's see what happened in the chat while we were dealing with our fun internet shenanigans. Bally Flips, RZ is back. Yay. Yes, RZ is back. Okay, Sawyer confirmed we can hear. Back now. LeBreton confirmed we're back. Do I know Gurney? Does that say Gurney? Gernie? My messages keep getting lagged out. Let me type it one more time. And then you typed, and I work for Simple Stock Apparel, so I have insight there. I am so sorry, Sawyer, but I am still not following what you're asking. But if, as far as your question of do I know Journey, no, I do not. I'm not familiar with that name. No, I'm not. But educate me. If I mean, you've been a flipper for 5 years. If you're familiar with somebody that I should asking if you know Journey, like the band Journey, or are you saying like an individual in the hobby? I'm sorry. Asking if you know Journey. I'm assuming the answer is no, unless you mean the band, and then yeah, I know Journey. Interview 2-bit. Well, like I said, I'm not even thinking about who my number 2 is going to be yet. I want to get through number 1 first, and if number 1 comes back, and no, like that was someone else who asked if you know. Oh, was it? Oh, you're right. That was Chilzard. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. You're right. It was somebody else. My bad. Okay, so let me go back through your questions. One of my messages didn't get sent. That's awkward. Yeah, but I don't know what the message was. Okay, no worries. If you have Sawyer, if you have a question to ask me, I apologize that it has not come through to me, and my ADHD brain has just not been working out. If you want to take a step back, take a breath, give Unc a minute to talk around with chat, see what's going on, and then ask your question again. You might get a better connection with me. But I apologize. It is probably my fault. So yeah, LeBreton says that was Chill Lizard. To which the answer is still I don't know. I don't know what that question means, much less who that person or thing is. Again, unless they're asking about the band Journey. And then the answer is yeah, I know Journey. Journey is sick. Yeah, everyone is green. That's what caused the confusion for me. Jax is back. What's going on, Jax? Matthew says one day he decided to play an okay Sonic game and just SA 2 is better. Oh. LeBreton says, sup. RZ Flip says, I think the interview idea is cool. Thanks. I think it's cool too. And then the only reason I'm even bringing it up is because a couple streams ago, somebody randomly brought it up in stream. They were like, hey, are you going to interview anybody? And I'm like, where did that come from? Like that, there was no context around it. It just out of the woodwork. Hey, are you going to interview somebody? I'm like, I think that would be neat, but I don't know. And I mean, I had already reached out to the person that I was reaching out to. So we had already gone through all of that, the starting of that process, but it was very strange that, other people are also thinking, hey, Unc, you should interview people. So we'll see. I had an idea to go do a broad video on the ballad song hobby for different reasons to get into the ballad songs, but I think I want to wait until I go to Blade Show for the first time. I wouldn't blame you for waiting until Blade Show. I think, especially if you're trying to get like a holistic, this is the ballad song hobby, this is why you should do it. I think you'll be able to get a lot of what is the word I'm trying to say? I don't know. You'd be able to get a lot of solid B-roll. That's for sure. And with interviewing different kinds of flippers, that would be cool too. I support your idea, RZ. Let's see. All right. I think we're gonna start wrapping things up. We have crossed the 3 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time marker that I had set for myself. One of our fellow flippers is going to be going live here shortly. I don't want to miss that. I want to make sure that I can tune into their stream the same way that they were able to tune into mine. So I'm going to let things start running down real quick. I am done with the flipping. I am done with most of the yapping, but I want to make sure everybody has a couple minutes to say their goodbyes before I end the stream. Thank you, Cruz. I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate your appreciation of the stream. RZ, it was great seeing you. I'm glad that you had fun on your trip, and I'm glad that you were able to make it home safely. LeBreton, if you're still around, thanks for spending so much time with us today, and I look forward to watching your stream. Matthew, if you're still around, thanks for stopping by as much as you have over the last couple of days, and thanks for your questions. Jax, you are peak as well. Thank you so much for stopping by. 3 Sawyer, welcome to the show. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Hopefully you come back for more. If you did, if you do, let me know what you think. Give me some feedback. If you didn't like it, I'll take constructive criticism as well. I think that covers just about everybody. For the time being, though, we are all set. Thanks for stopping by. Thanks for saying hi. We'll see you all in the next one. Love you.